Shit. Collective lab. Bitch.
Collective
Take
lab.
it to the
Let's take
lab.
it to the lab, yo.
Tough Jam
That's up by the lens.
Entertainment.
Tough Jam Entertainment.
Tough Jam Entertainment.
Top beat, Tough Jam Entertainment. That's live. Let's take it to the lab.
What's your name and where you from?
Yo, what's up? It's T30 from 1632 with Tim B. So as you can see, I don't need to say no more.
What made you fall in love with hip hop?
Yo, hip hop is high infinite power healing our people, so it's best said by the definition of itself. I fell in love with hip hop because I have a love for words. For somebody like me growing up, I ain't speak so much, so I guess I found my outlet with that.
What's your agenda as a hip hop artist?
Honestly, my agenda is to murder rappers, but at this point, it's more about making timeless music that's gonna last for generations to come. That's me right now.
Fire, man. Now, in terms of getting to you murdering rappers and making legacy music, who influenced you? Like, who influences your sound? Or if it's old school niggas, it's new niggas, but who are your top 5 biggest influences as an artist?
Yo, my top 5 biggest artists, it goes for Horseshoe Gang. I put Crooked Eye in there on top, in fact. He's one of my biggest influences. I got Royce, I got Big L, Pun, and Small. And those are my biggest influences, as a matter of fact.
Tell me, we've worked on music together, and we've spoken a number of times on WhatsApp and when I found out that you had over 15 albums already.
15 projects.
Over 15 projects.
I got 15 projects. I got 9 EPs, I got 5 mixtapes, and I got 1 LP out, and I got a couple more coming too.
When did you start dropping music? What year?
I started dropping music in 2019. My first project came out in 2019. I dropped 6 projects in 2020, 6 projects in 2021, and 1 project in 2022, 1 project in 2023.
Now I'm trying to understand the process. This is why I actually asked this question. The process of you being able to create 15 albums in 2019, 2020, 2020, in 5 years.
Yeah.
What are we looking at? Like, is the diversity of sound in terms of content? Do you find yourself repeating yourself at times, or did you ever, or everything just from your perspective anyway? Everything sounds like it's not like the last album or the last song.
No. In fact, my last 4 projects, I feel like showed a very great growth because for somebody like me, I'm a good tongue twister. I rap quick. So for somebody like me, it was hard to find an audience because people don't really get it because they feel like it goes too quick. So at some point I had to adjust and find ways to balance, like a balance between the boom bap and the trap. So for a tongue twisting rapper like me, I had a whole sound on trap. So now at this point, I've reached a timeless sound whereby I'm just trying to make laid back music, something you can play at any time of the day, so that's where I'm at right now.
Fire, and with that being said, who would be like, I'm sure it's super hard knowing that you went from trap to boom bap, but you're in between the soulful now. Top 5 influences in terms of hip hop.
In terms of hip hop, okay, I bring back Crooked Eye. I put M in it. I put Los in it. Right now, there's a rapper called King Los, one of the greatest minds on earth. I put Los in it, and I put a battle rapper too called Disaster. I feel like his creative work ethic put me in the space that I'm in right now. So yeah, those are my influences and support.
Fire, man. Tell me though, as a battle rapper, or at least a person who wants to get into the battle rapper space, but the energy's there, the energy's there, the bars are there and all of that. As a fan of the culture.
Word.
Jay-Z versus Nas, who won the battles and why?
Jay-Z versus Nas, that's a hard pick. It ain't a hard pick actually, but it's hard to describe. I feel like Nas took the battle and Jay-Z might have took the war. I don't know how to balance how big it could be on both sides, but I go with Nas in my perspective. I feel like he laid it down for a lot of us because for people like Jay-Z, I feel like it was already set in stone for him to be where he's at. And then for people like Nas, it's putting pen to page that actually takes you to where you had to be. So I'll go with Nas.
All right. Wow. Yes. Just to wrap it up, King. Before we wrap it up, though, gatekeepers. You know what I mean? This is like probably the biggest topic outside of who's the hottest rapper or whatever. But like one of the most talked about things right now inside in hip hop all over the world are gatekeepers. What's your definition of who gatekeepers are, and are they necessary?
Gatekeepers, yo. I mean, they're supposedly supposed to be the people who are opening doors for us, but at some point it seems like they're trying to do our job. So it's hard to tell apart if a gatekeeper is a gatekeeper at some point, or is it somebody who wants to lead the whole thing, because it seems like it's in their hands. So with that being said, I don't really think gatekeepers are necessary. They take up too much space for us. What else?
Now, just to wrap it up, King, tell us what you're working on and where can people find all your music?
I'm working on a project called Shady Slaughterhouse Shoes, inspired by obviously Eminem, Slaughterhouse, and True Gang, which is Crooked As Little Brothers. Most definitely, I also have a song coming through with them, Horseshoe Gang. Hopefully in future I can look out for that. So with that being said, you can check me out on social media at T30, T minus the number 30. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. I'm all over the place. You know what it is.
Fire, crazy energy. Love this guy, bro. Shout outs, tell him everything.
Peace, man.
Shout out to whoever, your mama.
Yeah, shout out to my mama. Shout out to Chris. He knows. Chris, man.
I know your mom.
Shout out fam. Yo, shout out to my moms, you know. My heart in human form. Yo, shout out to my bro. One of the reasons why I actually did music. Shout out to Chris for actually holding us down and having us here, man. Shout out to my bros like Don Vito. Shout out to your Last Ditch. Shout out to your Eternal Cap. Shout out to Freddie B, man. Rest in peace to my big homie. Man, shout out to everybody who's been there for us, man. One love, one love.
One love. My nigga T30, that was fire. I love that. We're back and forth, Jess. Let's not do it like that. Let's continue on the positive energy. Okay, can we work? Okay. So tell us, in terms of gatekeepers, who are gatekeepers? If you believe in gatekeepers, what are gatekeepers and who are gatekeepers?
I like the fact that you were also very clear in terms of the aspect of the fact that there's something that's locked. So me personally, in my own journey, I feel like my mind gate's already unlocked, so there's no limits, only what limits we put on ourselves. So what can someone do for you that you can't do for yourself? So just really just understanding that that's really just the cute term for people to use for themselves. But for me personally, it's another term that we can use, but it's been expressed in the wrong way. So there's really no gatekeeping, because if you don't want to do it, you literally got to do it. Because gatekeeping means that you have to be given something, and with this kind of crap that we do, you actually have to take and actually become it, because of it's your thing. Like no one can give you that particular thing that you're looking for if there's a sort of a gate or something. But there is certain processes that allow people to reach what they want, but it's really an inside kind of thing, not really an outside kind of thing.
Top 5 artistic influences.
Top 5. There are a lot. I'm just gonna try to just summarize the ones that are really dope. So Bada's actually pretty dope. I mentioned Bada, really dope, creative guy.
Kambada.
MF Doom is actually dope. MF Doom is actually nice. Then who else can I think of I've been listening to lately? Yeah, Sky Like the Skate is actually dope. Hey, when he actually starts like me, like I'm my own influence. When I listen to myself, sometimes actually quite sick. Then there's who else? Let me think. There's someone. They are there, guys. I'll come back to that, but they are there. I'm just gonna leave space because there's a lot of opportunity. I'm like the fact we're in a time where everything is changing, so I'm gonna have a chance to really consume new content and new music than one I'm not already exposed to. But really dope people, like honestly speaking, yeah.
Yes, shout out. And in terms of upcoming projects, what can people expect? In terms of upcoming projects, what can people expect from you?
They can expect a lot, but since the world is changing, I'm just gonna go everyone to be comfortable with the whole extended reality, virtual reality integration with the future, Web 3.0. So it's really like a whole change of how the world is going to be operating future forward. So from financial literacy, creating project for movies, creative and graphics. So it's really gonna be more